Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in with Recro. This is Sana and I take care of the community initiative part for Recro. Recro is a developer focused organization wherein we are trying to connect developers' aspiration to the right opportunity by working with the high growth startups like Swiggy, Dunzo, Udan, Kyofit, and there are like similar kind of startups like many other startups which we are working with. And for today we are having Rishu Agrawal with us. So Rishu working with Microsoft as a software engineer too, and he is working as a full stack application developer and majorly working on the stacks like JavaScript, React Native, and data structures part as well. He is very proficient in that. And today's topic we're gonna discuss that is mastering the art of solving tree problems. So we gonna stick to that topic and we're gonna work on it. And yeah, I think let's get started. It was the longest introduction. On to you, Rishu.
Thanks, Anna, for this lovely introduction. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this session on tree data structure. Yeah, so today we are going to talk on trees and we'll learn how to start solving tree data structure. So this is a very beginner session on trees, okay? And the main target is to understand tree data structure, how should we form tree data structure, what are the applications of it, and so today we'll talk mainly on the traversal part, tree traversal part, okay? So there are various type of tree traversal which is very important in order to crack any interview, right? Coding interview. So data structures is a very important topic when you are working as a software engineer, right? So and tree is one of the most important part of the data structure. So yeah, let's begin. So the agenda of today is like we'll start with tree introduction. We'll talk about what are the various type of trees and difference between binary tree and an array tree. Okay, and then we'll move on to tree traversals. So there are various type of tree traversals that we'll talk about today, and post that we'll work on some problems on tree traversals. Okay, so today we are not targeting any advanced topic on trees. Like there are so many things on trees that you can do, but this session is meant for beginners. So and we are planning to have a series on this data structure topics. So this is a very first session on trees. So next session can be an advanced session on tree. Cool, let's get started. So coming on the introduction part, so what is a binary tree? So what does a tree data structure look like, and why do we even need a tree, right? So tree, unlike stack, queue, and linked list, tree is a linear data structure. Okay, so anything which forms a hierarchical data, so that falls under a tree data structure. Okay, cool. So let's see how does a binary tree look like. So binary tree has a root node, okay, and it has a left child and a right child. Okay, so if I just see about the interface, I hope all of you guys are comfortable with JavaScript. If not, that is also fine. So interface is just a way to define how does our node look like. Okay, so when we talk about linked list or tree, so we define a node, right? So each node represents the atom of the binary tree, right? Binary tree or an array tree. So each node has a data attribute to it, which can be a string. So let's say this root node has 10 data as 10, and then we have a left node and a right node. So left is a structure of type node. So again, so left will be pointing to a similar data structure, which is a node, right? And again, in the right side of it, the right child will have, again, it's a node, right? So a binary tree is comprises of multiple nodes that is linked together. Okay, it's a linked data structure. Okay, so the topmost, the entry point of a tree is a root. So wherever we're starting the tree, it's called a root. Okay, and all the bottoms and, and all the bottoms part of it, let's say any node which doesn't have a left child or right child is considered as a leaf node. Okay, so these are the terminology that is used in a tree data structure, and I'm assuming you guys should be comfortable with it. Okay, if not, you can raise your hand. Okay, cool, let's go ahead. So let's look at an array tree. What does an array tree look like? So this is an example of three array tree. So where every node can have at most 3 child. Okay, so let's say A has 3 child, B has only 1 child. So none of the node can have more than 3 child. So it's a 3 array tree. So definition of an array tree will be any node cannot have more than n number of childs. It's an array tree. Okay, each node has no more than n children. Okay, and how do we define an array tree? So an array tree, again, it will have a data attribute to it, which where we will store data, and it can have a children, which is an array of nodes. So unlike binary tree where we had left and right pointers, here we have array of nodes, because we cannot say, okay, this is left or this is right, right? So it can have multiple children. So it's an array of children. Cool. Any questions so far on tree introduction? Great. Let's look at the type of binary trees. What are the various type of binary tree that we use in day-to-day life? And one more thing. So today we'll mainly focus on binary tree. We'll not focus on an array tree. So an array tree is a superset of a binary tree, correct? So let's see what are the different types of binary tree. So there is a type called full binary tree. So how do we define a full binary tree? If you see, each and every node has either 0 or 2 children. That is the definition of a full binary tree. None of the node will have more than 2 children or 1 children. Each and every node will have exactly 0 or 2 children. Okay. Cool. Let's move ahead. Then we have complete binary tree. So complete binary tree, all levels are completely filled except the last level. Okay. So let's say we cannot, let's say if we remove 30, then it's not a complete binary tree, because we have to fill level 2 before going to level 3. Is that clear? Okay. And let's say if we move this 40 to the right child of 30, so is that a complete binary tree? No. According to the definition, so complete binary tree, all the child in the last level has to be left aligned. So if we are adding any new child to it, any new node to it, it has to come as a right of 20. Okay. So every child has to be as possible as left. I didn't get. Okay. Is that clear? Cool. Let's move. So there's one more type called perfect binary tree. So how do we define perfect binary tree? So in a perfect binary tree, all the nodes will have 2 children except leaf node, because leaf node by definition it does not have any children. Or left and right pointers of leaf node are null. Okay. So perfect binary tree will be a binary tree where all the nodes have 2 children, all the internal nodes. Okay. So why do we need all these different type of binary tree? So these are just to understand, okay, what are the different types of binary tree can be. Okay, but when we are solving problems on binary tree, we don't need these concepts a lot, but just to have just to have an idea, like how does a different type of binary tree look like, how do we define them, we are doing it. Cool. Let's move. What are the applications of binary tree? So any hierarchical data, let's say folder structure, when we code in VS Code, right? So if we just see, so VS Code, like we have this structure, right? Or you can say file structure in your system, or organization structure, or a product catalog of an e-commerce website, where you can go to men's section. Men's section have different, let's say, suits, pajamas, and then like there are, whenever there's a hierarchy, we are aligned to use tree data structure. Okay. And then we have binary search tree. So binary search tree is a very special case of a binary tree where it's an ordered tree. Okay. So we are not discussing in detail about binary search tree. This is out of scope for this session, and probably we'll cover binary search tree in the next session. And there are various advantages of binary search tree, and it's an optimized data structure over tree. Okay. And then we have also heap. So heap is again, it's a form of tree which is represented in terms of array. Okay. And heaps are again very useful to optimize your problems. Like if we can understand heap, how do we solve heap problems, then heap is a very good data structure. It's a very good tool to solve multiple problems. Yeah, definitely. I'll share this PPT at the end. Okay. Cool. Next, moving to trie. Okay. Then trie is again, it's a n-ary tree. So there's a very specific use case of trie, it's used to implement dictionaries, like whenever we have strings and we want to store large strings in a tree data structure, we can use trie. So again, this is out of scope for today's session. So these are all advanced data structure which is built on top of binary tree. Okay. So just to give you a gist, binary tree is a very important data structure which is used in day-to-day life when we are coding. Okay. Now moving to next, tree traversals. Okay, so tree traversals are the building blocks. Okay, if I say I'm solving tree data structure problem, I am supposed to know tree traversals. Okay, without tree traversals we cannot move ahead. These are the very basic building blocks of tree. Okay, so here comes the first tree traversal, which is pre-order traversal. Okay, so pre-order traversal, let me explain you. So how do we, okay, first let me tell what are different types of traversals. There is pre-order traversal, there is in-order traversal, and there is post-order traversal. Okay, so these are the mainly three types of traversal that we'll focus on today, and after that there is a level order traversal as well, which we'll cover later. So when we define pre, okay, so you have to look in terms of root. Let's say we are starting with this root is our 10 is our root element, and we are saying pre-order. So we have to process root at first. Pre means it will come first. When we say post order, so root will come at the end. We have to process the root at the end. Okay. When we say in order, so we have to process the root in between. Like first we'll process the left child, then we'll process the right child, then we'll process the root. So that is in order. Okay. Let's look how does a pre-order traversal look like. Let's define the algorithm. How can we define the algorithm? So I've just written a pseudocode over here. So pre-order, it's a function. It accepts root pointer. So root is our this node. Okay, and since it's a pre-order traversal, we are supposed to process root first, correct? And when I say process can be just consoling the root. It can be, let's say you have to manipulate some data on the root, or let's say you have to call some API, right? So we are processing the root. For right now, we are just logging the root. Okay, and then we are recursively traversing left subtree, and then we are recursively traversing right subtree with root.left and root.right. Is that fine? Cool. Now let's solve this problem. I mean, let's write a pre-order version of this for this particular tree. So we start with 10. So we pass root, correct? Since it's a pre-order traversal, we are supposed to process the root first. So we'll be logging 10 as the output, correct? Next, we are supposed to traverse left subtree of the root. So left subtree means this 20 and 40, correct? So we are passing root.left, which is 20, to this function. Now, again, we are processing 20. Since it's a pre-order, so now my new root is 20, correct? So we'll be logging 20. Is that fine? Okay. Now, again, we are recursing to the left subtree of it, which is 40. We see we got the root as 40. Now we are processing the root, which is 40. Okay. Now comes, since 20 does not have a right subtree, it will go back. Again, 10, we are on 10. Since we have already processed root and its left subtree, we are supposed to process a right subtree of it, which is this part, correct? Now our new root becomes 30. Since it's a pre-order, we are supposed to process the root first. We'll print 30. Now we'll pass the left subtree of root, which is 50. Again, we'll process this as a root, which is 50. Now the right subtree of the root, which is 60, which comes here. Is it clear to everyone? Please raise your hand if anyone has a doubt on it or doesn't understand, like how is it happening. Great. Let's move on. Let's move on to in-order traversal. So how would the in-order algorithm look like? So everything is same. just the processing of root changed, correct? Since it's an in-order traversal, processing of root goes in between of left and right subtree, correct?
Rishu, so sorry to cut you out. There's a question. Why can't 30 be right leaf of 20 node?
See,
How
it's up to
does
us
that work?
if we can put 30 on the right subtree of it. So like it's just a certain tree that I have designed. If we want to put 30 as a right subtree of it, we can put it. There's no limitation on it.
Okay, I hope that answered. I'm just moving to answer, Prasad.
Yeah. Cool. So how does in-order traversal change from pre-order traversal? So if you look at the algorithm, so in the pre-order traversal, what we were doing, we were processing the root at the beginning. Now over here, we are processing the root after the left subtree has been processed, correct? And then we are processing the root, and then we are going to the right subtree of it. So that is in-order traversal. Now let's look at this example and try to write in-order traversal for this. So we start with root, which is our 10, but we cannot process the root yet. We have to go to the left subtree of it, which is this 20 and 30 part. Okay, 20 and 40 part. This is left subtree. We go to 20. Now 20 is our root. Again, we cannot process it. We have to go to left subtree of it. We go to 40. Now we see 40 does not have a left child and it does not have a right child, correct? Now it is time to, we cannot go in order of root dot left, correct? Now we have to process the root. So the first output will be 40. Is it clear? Cool. Now since 20 ka left child is done, now we have to go to root. Since it's a in order traversal, left child is done. Now the time for the root. So we'll print 20, correct? Now 20 does not have a right child, so there's no point of staying here. Now comes to the root. Now 10 is our root. We have to process this root, correct? So 10 is our output. Okay. Now we see for when 10 was root, its left child is done, its root is done. Now we'll move to right subtree of it for 10, correct? Now 30 becomes our new root. Okay. But we cannot process 30 yet. We have to move to the left child of it, which is 50, correct? Now 50 does not have a left child and does not have a right child, so it's time to process 50. Again, 50 is done, so left part is done. We have to go to root, which is 30. We'll process the root and we'll move to right child of it, correct? Which is 60. Now for 10, okay, this is done. This was in order traversal. Any doubt over here? How did we write this in order traversal for this particular tree? Cool. So this question, can 50 be the right child of 20 and left child of 30 simultaneously? Yeah, no, this particular node cannot be child for two nodes. Like that is not the ideal structure. Then we are not in tree, right? Then we'll be creating a sort of graph. So that is not how we design a tree. Okay. Let's move on. So moving on to post-order traversal. So only difference between post-order is we are processing the root at the last. First we will process the left child of it, then we'll process the right child of it, then we'll move back to root, correct? There's no much difference over here. Okay, so we start with root, which is our 10. Then, but we cannot process the root yet. Root has to be processed at the last. So we go to left child of it, which is 20 and 40. So our new root becomes 20. Again, we cannot process it. We go to the left child of it, which is 40. Now 40 does not have a left child and right child. So it's time to process the root. So 40 is our first output, correct? Now we go back to 20. Now 20 does not have a right child. So we process 20, okay? Now we go back to 10, correct? But we cannot process 10 yet because right child of 10 is not yet processed, okay? So we go back to right child of 10. Now the new root becomes 30. So 30, still we cannot process it because it's a root and we have not processed the left child and right child of 30 yet. So we go to 50. So our new root becomes 50. 50 does not have a left child and right child. So we process 50. Okay. Now 50 is done. We go back to 30, but we cannot process 30 yet because its right child is still unprocessed, correct? So we have to process the 60. So 60 is our next output. Now we see for root 30, its left child and right child is done. We can process 30 now. So 30 is our next output. And for 10, now this left child and right child is done. We can process 10. So that is all about post-order traversal. Is that clear? Okay, great. Let's move on. Let's move on to level order traversal. So level order traversal is one of the most important topic in tree when we are traversing trees. Okay. So when we say level order traversal, so we are printing the entire tree level by level. So the root node is defined as level 0 or level 1, that it's up to us how we define it. So let's say we are saying root node is level 1. So we'll print level 1 first, 10, then we'll print 20 and 30, then we'll print 40, 50, 60. So it's level by level. So that is how we name it level order traversal, correct? So we start with root 10, then with 20, then 30, then 40, 50, 60. It's very simple, correct? But the algorithm is slightly tricky than the previous one. Okay. So in order to print a level order traversal, what we are doing, so we are taking root, and for each level, so we first of all we have to find the level height of the root. So let's say height of the root is 3 for over here. So for each level 1, 2, 3, we'll be printing the given level, correct? And how do we print a given level? We pass the root and level to it. So this is a base case. So I hope all of you are comfortable with recursion. So whenever we write recursion, we have to provide some base case to it, in order so that our recursion does not go into an infinite call stack, correct? So if root is not there, we are just returning out of it. And if it's a level 1, then we are consoling the root. So why are we printing when the level is 1? Okay, we'll come to that. And if the level is greater than 1, we are recursing to left subtree and right subtree with level -1. Okay, so let's say I'll dry run this particular tree over here so that you have a better understanding of it. So let's say we are supposed to print level 3. Okay, let's say our level 1 and level 2 is already printed, and we are supposed to print level 3. Okay, so what we will do, we will call this print given level function with root as 10 and level as 3. Correct. Now we see level is equals to 1. No, level is 3. We are not supposed to print the root yet. What we will do, we will recurse with left subtree first, correct, and level -1. So when we pass this 20, level becomes 2, but we cannot print it until the level becomes 1. So what we are doing, again we will call this left subtree recursively, and we will pass level -1, correct, which is 2 - 1, 1. So when we reach in level 3, so this particular level becomes 1, correct. Hence we'll know, okay, finally we have reached our desired level, and we are supposed to console the we are process the root. So let's try to complete this particular problem. So we started with 10, and we have already processed this left subtree, and we are supposed to process the right subtree of it, correct? So right subtree, when we are passing the right subtree, level started with 3. So we will call, we'll pass 30 as a right subtree, and we will pass level as 2. Level is 3, level -1 becomes 2. So we are recursively calling this function, root becomes 30, level becomes 2, correct? So both the first if condition fails, it does not satisfy. Second if condition fails, it does not satisfy because our level is 2. Again we see level is greater than 1, right? So again we will recursively call for this left subtree and right subtree, correct? So when we are calling this for left subtree, we are passing root.left with level -1. So our level was 2, 2 - 1 becomes 1. So the final call stack which goes over here will have 50 as root and level as 1, correct? So we see, okay, we have reached level 1. Now it's time to console the root. So we wanted 50 as output, so it will print 50 and then 60. Is it clear to everyone? Okay, so we have few questions over here. Let me see. Any use case of traversal? I mean, which scenario we can use traversal? So traversal of tree is needed whenever you want to read the structure, read the data structure, right? So let's say you have got the tree. Let's say you have got the folder structure, but you don't know how to iterate through the structure. So in order to iterate through the structure, to print the structure, you have to traverse it, right? Otherwise, without traversing, you cannot reach all the data, all the nodes of it. You cannot tell what the node is. How to get height of a tree if not provided? So we can calculate the height of a tree. So we have to write a helper function for that. Height of the tree will be never provided to us. We'll only have root element to it, and we can calculate height of it. So this height function that I have written, we'll try to write it later. Okay. Can tree, binary tree, or BST tree hold duplicate values? Binary tree can hold duplicate value, and even BST can hold. Like, it's up to us how we are defining it. Let's move on. So yeah, so the earlier implementation that we saw for level order traversal, it was using recursion. So recursion is definitely not a good idea, because whenever we are doing recursion, it's a overload to stack. I mean, it's overload to call stack. Whenever we are doing recursion, all the function calls are pushed onto the stack, so our memory is overloaded. So recursion is we should always avoid recursion if possible, but not always. Okay, so there's one more approach to solve level order traversal. Like, how can we print a level order traversal using queue? So it's a queue-based implementation. It's a iterative implementation that is better in terms of performance. Okay, cool. So again, we start with the root. Okay, one thing I forgot to tell all of you guys. So there's a concept called BFS and DFS. Okay, so breadth first search and depth first search. So level order traversal is a kind of breadth first search, because we are traversing in the breadth area of it. We are not going into deep. Like when we were doing pre-order or post-order, so we were trying to do a first left subtree, right subtree, like that, right? So let's say we are doing post-order traversal. We started with root, we went to left subtree, we went to left subtree, then we processed right subtree. So it was like going into depth first rather than according to breadth, correct? But in level order traversal, we do the opposite thing. We start with breadth. We don't go into deep. Like let's say we will process level 1 first, then we'll process level 2 first. So it's a concept of graph data structure, I would say. So BFS and DFS are very important terms. Like, all of you should know about it. So whenever we have BFS implementation, like we have to solve any data structure using BFS. So Q is the rescue. Like Q, we can use Q in order to solve BFS implementation. And for DFS, we will use stack. We will see how. I mean, why should we use Q for BFS, correct? That we will see. Okay. So Q has a very interesting property that all of us know. Like first element that comes in, that goes first. First in, first out, correct? So let's see the algorithm. So we start with an empty queue. Okay. And what we are doing, we are creating just a reference for reference node from root. Okay, so that we do not pollute root. Okay, now we see whenever, like, while this temp node is not null, while we have a proper root, what we are doing, we are consoling the root and we are pushing the left child and the right child of the root to the queue. Okay, is that clear? And when we are pushing, and then we are popping a node from queue, and that node is our new root. Okay, so let me quickly. So let's say we have I'm not able to draw anything over here. It's fine. So we'll try to solve this level order traversal. We'll try to write a proper working code for this level order traversal, and we will see how this works. Okay. Before moving to that, we'll do some practice problems. I want all of you guys to participate in this example. Like we have two problems. So I would recommend all of you to take some time, like take 5 minutes and try to solve all of this order. So let's start with first problem. Let's start with this problem first, and all of you can write the solution and post it in the chat section. So please participate. Yeah, I see everyone is writing level order. So level order is pretty simple. I would suggest you to write pre-order, in-order, and post-order traversal of it, because that will take some time to solve. Let's start solving. So the level order traversal is pretty simple, which is A, B, C, D, E. I guess all of you guys have done it. Great job over here. Like I said, it's right. Okay. So A, B, C, D, E. Cool. Now let's solve pre-order. So for this pre-order, since it's a pre-order, we'll process the route first. So A will come first, and then B will come, because we have to process its left child. And after that, D will come, and after that, C will come, then E will come. Let's see how many of you have done it right. A, B, D, C, E. Yeah. Great, great. Very good response. So let's solve in order. So this is in order, like we have to process the left tree first. So left tree becomes this one, and we will solve for B because it does not have a left child. So we will process B first, and then we'll process the right child of it, which is D. Then we'll process the root, which is A. Then we'll process C. Since C does not have a left child, we'll process C now, and lastly E. Correct. So let's move to post order. If it's a post order, then we'll process the root at last. We'll start with left subtree. Again, we see there's no left subtree of it. There's a right subtree. So we'll process D first. Then we'll process B, because for B, left subtree and right subtree is done. Then we will go back to A, but its right subtree is not yet done. So we will process the right subtree of it, which is C. C does not have a left child. So we'll process right child of it, which is E. So E will be the next element, then C, and then A. Great. Now can we move to the next question? I would recommend everyone to solve this second problem as well. So all of you who did not get it right in the first question, definitely should try to solve the second one. Great. So yeah, let's try to solve it. So level order traversal is pretty simple. 10, 7, 13, then 4, then 11, then 15, then 6. Okay. Now going to pre-order. So since it's a pre-order, we have to process the root first. So we'll process 10 first. So the 10 is our first output. Then we have to process left child of it, which is 7. Again, it's a pre-order, so we'll process 7 first. Then we'll move to next left child, so which is 4. We'll process 4 first because it's a pre-order. 4 does not have a left child. We'll process right child of it, which is 6. Then we'll move to root, which was our 10, because we have all processed all the left child of it. And we'll move to right child for 10, which is 13. Now 13 is the root element. We'll process it first. Now we'll go to left child, which is 11. 11 does not have a left and right child. Now we'll process 15. Okay, great. Let's move to in order. So we start with root. Since it's in order, we cannot process the root yet. We have to go to left child first. So when we go to left child, 7 becomes our root, but we cannot process it yet. We go to left child. We cannot process it yet. Since 4 does not have a left child, we have to process the root now. So 4 is our first output. Okay. Now we have to go to right child of it, which is 6. Correct. Now for 7, left child is done. Now it's time to process the root, which is 7. 7 does not have a right child, so we are done with this node. Now we come to 10. So for 10, left child is done. Now it's time for root, which is 10. Now we'll go to right child of 10. Okay, this part. Now we see 13. 13 is the root, but we cannot process it yet. We go to left child of it, which is 11. 11 does not have a left child, right child. Now we go back to 13. It's time for 13 to be processed. Correct. Now 13 is done. We are left with 15. So 15 is the right child of it, which is done. Okay. I hope this was clear to all. Now let's go back to post order. So we start with post order. We start with the root, but we cannot process the root yet. We'll start with left child. Okay. But we cannot process 7 yet. We go to left again. We cannot process it yet. We go to left. There's no left, but we go to right. So we see 6. So 6 is our first output. Now for 4, left and right child is done. Let's go to 4. We can process 4. Now go back to 7. Its left is done. There's no right of it. So we can process 7 right now. Correct. Now go back to 10. So for 10, left child is done, but right child is not yet done. So we go back to right. Correct. So we land on 13. 13 is our new root, but we cannot process it yet. We go to left child of it, which is 11. So 11 does not have a left child and right child. So it's time for 11 to be processed. Again, we cannot process 13 yet. We go to right child of it, which is 15. So 15 does not have a left and right child. We print 15. Now for 13, left and right child are done. So we can print 13. Now for 10, its left child and right child are done. We can process 10. Correct? So this is all about tree traversal. I hope all of you guys are comfortable with tree traversals right now. And believe me, if you are able to solve tree traversal, if you understand how the tree traversals are done, you can do any tree problem. And it needs practice. You have to practice a lot. Okay, so we'll see how to solve coding problems in trees, right? We'll go there. So any questions so far? Let's see, we have a few questions over here. Okay, can each node in binary tree hold multiple values? Yeah, so it's up to us how we define the structure, right? So let's say if I go to slide number 4, and this was our binary tree structure, right? So we have defined only data, which is single property to it. Let's say we defined let's say user, which is an object. Again, user will have multiple properties like name, age, phone number, email, right? So each and every node can contain multiple information. It's up to us how we store the information. Correct? So yeah, that is done. Next question is, what would be the best way to implement DFS with respect to performance using stack queue or recursion? So definitely stack or so since it's a DFS, stack is the rescue over here. So, and recursion is always not a good solution because recursion has overhead of call stack. Correct? So using stack, it's any day better to solve any DFS problem. Okay. Now we have question from Harshit. Milk basket. Okay, so how do we get the height of a tree? Like, okay, so we'll when we are writing the code, we will write the height of a tree function. So in order to get the height, we just compare the left subtree and right subtree, and then we return the maximum of them. Okay, so we'll see how we get the height of a tree. Can't this be then started with level equals to root first in level order traversal? Level equals to root. I did not. Let me go back to level order traversal slide. So we start with level equals to 1. Level is always a number, right? Level cannot be a root. So maybe Gopal, we can have this question later when we are done with the session. So I think I'm not very clear with your question right now. So let's move ahead.
Gopal, like if you want to raise your hand, you can raise your hand, and then like maybe in the end of the session we can do that, right?
Okay. So yeah, let's start with writing some code on tree. So let's define some data on it, right? So I've already defined some data, but let me define it again. So we'll say tree1. Okay. So as we were defining the data structure for tree, we had one data attribute to it. Okay. So data can be a string or a number. It's up to us, right? So let's say we define with a string for simplicity, right? So for sorry, number, and then each node will have a left child to it. So left is again a node. So again, it's an node object. So it will have a data. Okay, let's say data is 5, and we also have a right child of it. So right has a data. So how does this tree look like? 10 is our root, then 5 is the left child, and then 3 is the right child, correct? So this is our very simple root. And then we'll try to write some code of let's say pre-order, in-order, post-order, and level order traversal, right? So we'll start with pre-order traversal. So let's say we write, we'll always pass root, okay? So okay. So as per the definition, for a pre-order traversal, we are supposed to process the root first, correct? So what for processing right now, we are just consoling the output, correct? So we will do console.log of root.data. Okay. Now we will go to left subtree and process it recursively. Then we'll go to right subtree, correct? So we'll call pre-order of root.left. Then we'll call pre-order of root.right. Okay. So this is our happy flow. But remember, whenever we write recursion, we have to write base case for it, correct? So we have not written any base case for it yet. So what can be a base case? So the very simple base case can be if there is no root, if root is null, or we can say if there is no root, then we have to return out of the function. Otherwise, it will keep on going into the stack, right? And then it will reach a point where root does not have a left, and it will give error. Okay, cannot read property left of undefined. That is, everyone is aware of that. Cannot read property of undefined. Correct. So this is our simple pre-order traversal, and let's print it. Let's try to run it with 3.1. So output is 10, 5, 3. 10 was our root, 5 was our left child, and 3 was our right child. Correct. Let's put some more complex example. Let's use the same one that we were using earlier, right? Let's go back to traversal example. Let's print this one. Correct. So A is a, okay, let me split the screen. Can everyone see the font? Is it very small, or do I need to increase the font size? Please let me know. So we are building another tree. Okay. So the data is A. Root has data A, and it has left child, which has data as B. Correct. And B has a right child, which has data as D. Correct. So A ka left child is done. Now let's move to right child. We're going to right child of A. So right child has data as C, correct? And then C has again a right child, which is A. Okay. This is our tree 2. Now let's pass this tree 2 over here and run this example. Oh, great. A, B, C. A has left B, which has right D. Then again, okay. So this is a problem. Like right is a node. I have defined it as a string. So right has a child E. Correct. Now it is A, B, D, C, E. Correct. Let's see. This was pre-order, correct? A, B, D, C, E, which is fine. Cool. Let's move on. Let's try to build post order, and let me know if you guys want to skip me this. So again, similarly, like we can just write a post order traversal, and everything will be same except the processing of root. So we just move the processing of root to the end. Since it's a post order, we move it to end. and rest everything remains same. Okay, so let's print the post order of it. The post order becomes BDCEA, correct? B. Okay. I think there's some problem.
I think someone has put in
Okay.
chat, height of C should be object.
Yeah, that was fine. So the problem is, since I copied this problem, I mean just it should be post order, correct? Let's run it. DBECA, correct? So this is our post order. So I hope all of you guys are comfortable in writing pre-order traversal, post-order traversal, right? Similarly, you can write in-order traversal. Put a thumbs up if you guys are comfortable over here. Great. Now let's move to level order traversal. Okay. So let's define our level order traversal function. Okay. Again, in level order traversal, we'll pass root as a input parameter, and then we'll try to solve it using queue. Okay. So whenever you encounter a problem using level order traversal, do not solve it using a recursive solution, because that is worst case in terms of time complexity. So we should always try to follow a better solution which is available, right? So let's try to solve it using a queue. Okay. So we start with a queue. Okay. So let's say we have a queue which is empty, correct? Then what we do, we push root node to it. Okay, we are pushing the root to the queue, and we are checking while queue dot length, I mean while the queue is not empty, we are going to process the node, right? And every time we see queue and we get the length of it, correct? Like what is the length of it? So whenever you see whenever you are inside this loop, so we started with root, correct? So we pushed a first, so the length of queue is 1, correct? So we are on level 1. Since we are on level 1, its length is 1. So what we are doing, const level node count equals to queue dot length. Okay, and so this cannot be const, this should be let. We are writing another loop where what we are doing, we are just saying till the time we have not emptied the queue for this particular level. Okay, so when we were on level 1, so the level node count was 1, and till the time we have not emptied one element, we will process this function, correct? So we get top of the root, top of the queue dot pop. Okay, and top is our root element over here, so we have to process the root at that time. Top dot data, and then what we'll do, if the top has left child, we'll push it on the queue back. If it is right child, we'll push it on the queue back, correct? So we can just simply write if top dot left dot push top dot left. Similarly, if the top element has right child to it, we'll write q dot push top dot right. This is our very simple code for level order traversal. Okay. Now let's try to run it over there. So we got A, then okay, I'm passing tree to A, B, C, D, E. Now we are getting A, C, E, B, D. So let's find out the problem. Okay. Okay. Can anyone tell like what is the problem over here?
You guys can also raise your hand if you want to share what is the problem.
So the thing is like we are doing A B C. Like we are supposed to do A B C, rather we are doing A C E. Can anyone point out what is the problem over here? I'm like just trying to figure it out.
Putting in chat section. Vivek has said shouldn't be array shift
Yes,
brackets to get
exactly.
element of the queue. Q dot
Exactly.
shift brackets
Exactly.
instead
We
of
cannot do pop. If you are doing pop, it's a stack.
yes.
Exactly. So that was a simple problem. Now we got the desired output A, B, C, D, E.
Then Sachin has said top dot leafy dot data we should push to dot left dot data. I'm not sure what does that mean.
Okay, no, that is totally fine. We should not push the data. If you are pushing the data, then we will not able to access the element over there, right? So we are putting the entire node. So we are not pushing data on the queue, rather we are pushing the entire node on the queue. Okay.
Achintya has said use q dot push brackets semicolon.
Yeah, I think like Vivek gave the right answer. So that q dot shift was the thing. We were using q dot pop. So if we are using pop, then it's a stack implementation. It's not a queue.
Great, Vivek.
Great. So yeah. So this is level order traversal. Does anyone have any doubt on it? How we have implemented it, and what can be the time complexity of it? Can someone tell what is the time complexity for this implementation? Is it of n square? Is n the number of node, or is of n? Okay, so no, it's not O of n square. So that is the beauty of this particular implementation. It looks like we are doing a nested while loop, but we are not going on an n square time complexity. We are doing on a O of n. So if you see, like we are running this loop, outer loop till the time q is not empty, correct? And the inner loop only runs for each level. So let's say when we were on level 1, we ran it for one time. When we were on level 2, we ran it twice, correct? So this is for every level, and this is for just the base condition, like where should we stop? Okay, the time complexity for this particular solution is O of n. Okay, yeah, that's great. So yeah, this is our level order traversal example. Let's move on. Let me represent it. Okay, let's go back to slide problem solving. Okay, so we'll try to solve a couple of problems today, and we will see how to approach such problem and how to solve it using tree data structure. So one of the problem I choose is like check if trees are mirror or not. Okay, so let's say we have one tree and we have two trees as an input, and we have to return true if the trees are mirror. Okay, and how do we define if a tree is a mirror? So if you just imagine if there is a mirror in between, so the left child becomes a right child becomes a left child, correct? So for this tree, 2 is the right child, and for this tree, 2 is the left child. So that is a mirror. And similarly, each and every node will have this mirror property to it. Is it fine? Okay. So let's try to solve it. Just a second. So let's write this function. So what we are writing we're writing a function which will help us to determine if the tree is mirror or not. Okay, so we are passing two tree to it, two root. So we'll pass root 1 and root 2. Okay, and we'll try to solve it using recursion. Okay, so what is the property for mirror? Where does this slide go? Yeah, so for it has to be mirror. So left child has to be the right child of for another tree, and the right child for the other tree has to be left child for first tree. Correct? That is the condition. And how do we write that condition in terms of recursion? Correct. So first try to write the base case. Okay. If there is no root 1 and there is no root 2, okay, then we will return true, isn't it? If the both roots are null, basically they are mirror. Correct. And what can be the other base case? If we have root 1, we do not have root 1, or if we do not have root 2, then we will return false. Why? Because one of the node is there and other is not there. Correct. So this condition tells, okay, we have reached a point where one of the root is null and another root is already there. So this is our two base case that we have written. Okay, and what can be the final recursion solution for it? So we are returning if root1 dot data equals to root 2 of data, then definitely they are, I mean, root is mirror. But in order for the tree to be a mirror, the root has to be same and the left child has to be the right child of other. Correct. So this has to be true, as well as we have to check is mirror root 1 dot left with root 2 dot right. Is it clear? As well as we will check is mirror of root 1 dot right and root 2 dot left. Is this condition clear to everyone? Okay, great. So this is a basic function that will return return true if the tree is mirror or not. So again, like as I was telling, like how do we think in this perspective, right? How do you define if it's a mirror or not? Let's say, so it's very simple. So just think in terms of recursion. Okay, so you are at the root, you are comparing two roots. Correct. You are comparing tree 1 and comparing tree 2. If root is equal, then you're fine over there. Then you are checking if iska left subtree and iska right subtree are equal or not. If they are equal, then it is fine. So the same thing we have written in recursion. If is mirror of root 1 dot left and root 2 dot right, as well as mirror of root 1 dot right and root 2 dot left. Correct. So let's pass some test case to it and see if this works. So I have already created some data set in order to for this particular example. So this is the same data set that we have over here. So it should return ideally true. Okay, so I'll just try to export it. So we'll comment out this to let's import this tree data from there. Okay, so this will return either true or false. So we have to log it. So when we are running it, okay, cannot use import statement outside a module. Let's do one thing. Let's just delete all of this data set. Now they should be fine. Okay, so this is returning true, correct? Now if we try to modify the data into it, and then it will definitely return false. Let's do that. So what we do, let's make it 2 to 3, and this right is again 2. That is fine. So if we do, it is coming as false. Okay. So that's all about mirror tree. Does anyone have any question on this particular question, or? Okay, great. We'll move to next question. So there's a problem, maximum width of a binary tree. Okay, so this is again a very standard problem, and the idea was today to not have difficult problems, because it's a very beginner session and we don't want to go into such questions where you will be having doubt if you have understood tree or not. So this is a very simple example of level order traversal. So we have to find maximum width of a binary tree. And how do we define width? So width can be the distance between the leftmost child and the rightmost child, correct? So on a level, on a given level, what is the maximum width, correct? So over here we can see the maximum width is 3. Okay, so how can we solve it? So if you just look at the problem, so the idea is to find maximum number of nodes in a given level, in any level, right? So we'll try to traverse the entire tree and level by level, and we will see what is the node count in each level, and we will store the maximum node count. That will be our answer, correct? So let's try to code it. So we have to find max width, okay, and we'll pass root again. Since it's a level order traversal, how did I decide if it's a level order traversal or not? Can I do it with pre-order? Can I do it in order? No. I mean, there might be a solution, but it's not very intuitive, because as I see, we have to find maximum width, and the definition of maximum width comes key on a given level, what is the maximum number of nodes that it has. So the idea is to go into level order traversal. So you have to find the right traversal for the given problem, right? So you have to look at the problem, you have to understand what is the problem statement, and then you have to find which is the right approach, which can be a right approach, right? And then you can start solving it. Okay, so we have to again write a level order traversal over here. So we'll try to modify this initial level order traversal. I'll just try to copy it and modify it accordingly. Okay, so we have to find the max width. So in order to find a max width, we'll also define a max w, which is 0 initially, or it can be 1, because the root element is always 1. So let's define it 0. That's not a problem. Okay. Now, so coming back to our early implementation of level order traversal. So what we were doing, so for every level, we were knowing, okay, these are the number of node count, correct? So this number of node that is on a given level. Okay. Now simply what I can do, I can just write max width will be equal to level node count is greater than max width. If that is the case, then level node count is the max width. Otherwise, max width is the max width. That's all. We don't have to do anything else. And this console we don't need. We don't want to print the root. So just removing that. And we have to return max width. Okay. So let's try to run it. Console.log max width of, let's pass this tree1. Okay. So if I run this, max width is 2. So this was our example. This is our mirror 1 example, right? So here maximum width is 2. Now let's try to modify the example and see if we are getting the right answer or not. Okay. So we'll try to modify that but given earlier example, and we'll put some more nodes to it. So one is our root node. Let's go back here. We can put left child of 2, correct? We can put a left child of 2, so then max width will be 3, correct? So left is 2, and we'll put one more left child to it. It has data, let's say 7. That's all. Now if we run this, max width is 3. Okay. Now coming back to the solution, how did I identify like this is a max width, correct? So if you look at the level order traversal implementation, like the way that I've written, it's like very straightforward. Like in each level, what we are doing over here, we are iterating over the queue while the queue is not empty. Okay, and whenever we go inside this outer loop, we know, okay, we are on a certain level. This you'll go into this outer loop only when you have a level change. You will not go whenever you're inside a certain level, you'll not go inside this outer loop, correct? So this outer loop executes only when there is a level change, okay? And the inner loop executes only when you are inside a certain level and you have to process all the nodes of a given level. So this was very simple, very easy to modify the given earlier solution and write the max width of a tree. Okay, is that fine for everyone? Great. That's great. So yeah, that these two example I was like planning to solve it today, and definitely there was one question like how to find height of a tree, right? So in order to find height of a tree, it's like pretty straightforward. Okay, so we have to compute the height of the left child. I mean, height of the left child and height of the right child, and whichever is greater, we have to increment with 1. Okay, so I'll just write the code for it, then it will be better to understand. So let's say we want to find the height of a tree. So let's try this helper function. We'll pass root to it. Okay, and so we'll write the base case. If root is not there, then return 0. Correct. If there's no root, then there's no height. That is our base case. And what can be the next case? So we'll compute the left height of the left child, we'll compute height of the right child, and then we will compare whichever is greater, we'll increment with 1. Let's see. So let's say we compute left L height. Okay, L height equals to height of root dot left. Let R height of root dot right, and then we are comparing if L height is greater than R height, then we have to return L height plus 1. Otherwise, we have to return R height plus 1. So, now, can someone tell me, in order to solve, like in order to find the height, which traversal we are using over here? Is it in order? Is it pre-order? Is it post-order? Is it level order? You can write your answer in the section. None of you have done it, like got it right yet. I think Yogesh is right. It's a post-order solution. It's a post-order traversal. That's right. Because we are iterating on the left subtree first, then we are iterating on the right subtree first, right subtree. Then finally we are computing on root. Okay. So when we were on root, we computed left height, we computed right height, and then we decided which one is greater. Let's say for this case, this was greater. Then we are adding 1. Correct. So it's a post-order solution. Correct. So let's try to find height of a tree. Console.log height of tree 1. Height of tree 1 is 3. So this was our example 1, 2, 3, which is right. Yeah, that's all over here. Let's go back to some questions we have. I see we have a lot of questions over here. Okay. Space complexity for level order traversal. So if we are using a Q approach to it, then the space complexity will be O of n. Okay. But we say it's a O of n, but at any given point of time, the maximum space it will take is the length of the maximum length of a level. Okay. So we say it's a O of n. That's fine.
I'll just move it to answer that space complexity.
Yeah.
Okay.
Second one is not a question, right? Should be object. That was a suggestion, I think.
Okay.
How to decide when to use pre-order or in-order or post-order? Yeah, that's a very good question. So, okay, let's say whenever we look at the problem, we have to like see the way that how I solve this problems, right? So I'll start to apply all of these 3 or 4 type of traversal, right? I'll see if this can be done or not. So the idea is to find when we have to process the root. Okay, so for in order to find the height of the tree, we cannot find height of the tree directly. We have to first find out the all height of all its child, right? So for that particular scenario, post order was the solution, right? So you have to look at the problem. You have to decide when you have to process the root. Is the root has to be computed first, or is the root has to computed the last, or like is it in between, right? So you have to identify when you have to compute the root. Then you will be able to easily identify whether it's a in order, it's a pre-order, or it's a post order. Okay.
I'm moving it to answer. I hope you got your answer, Achintya. Guys, we are in our final Q&A section now. So you can all ask your question in the question section. Otherwise, you can raise your hand. Also, I have shared a feedback link. That would be great if you can share your feedback. There is also a suggestion question there, like what kind of topic you want us to come back for a future section. Even if you have any speaker recommendation, or if you want to talk about some topic or something like that, you want us to organize a session for you, you can surely put it across, and for sure someone from the team will get in touch with you soon. But please share your feedback, and I'll keep on sharing the other links as well, wherein you can follow us. We are also having a talk page on our website, so you can have a look at it. Whatever previous sessions we did, all the videos, all the recordings, you can get it there. And you can also subscribe from there, so that you can get in touch with us, and you will be having all the details about the future sessions as well. So everything will be posted there. I'll keep on sharing the link. You can continue asking the questions in the question section if you have any. Okay, there are a few questions coming in, Prishu.
Okay. Could I have used stack instead of queue for level order traversal? So if we use stack, then we won't have that property of we won't have that leverage of having a first in first out property, right? So that will be a DFS. It won't be a BFS then, right? So we cannot use stack in order for a level order traversal. So yeah,
I'll move it to answer.
yeah, you can. I hope Shinta, that's clear. Yeah, so few more suggestions from my end, like what's next, right? So what was the like we had this session like from what is next from here, right? So the idea was for this session was to have a basic understanding of a tree data structure. How should we start learning tree data structure? But this is not the end, right? We have not mastered it yet. So there are a lot of things to be done. Like all of you have to practice a lot, right? So you have to like I follow Geeks for Geeks very religiously. So I would suggest you to follow Geeks for Geeks. So there you can find all of the different type of problems and try to solve each and every problem, not each and every, but most of them, right? And try to solve it. Try to write it down on pen and paper. So that you have a confidence whenever you see a problem, you'll have understanding key. Okay, this is how I should solve a problem. This is how. Then only your brain will start rewiring into a tree data structure. It will take some time, and it's a matter of time, like it's a matter of practice, like how much however you practice, how much you practice, you'll have a better understanding, right? So any data structure, be it tree or linked list or queue, you have to practice it a lot, and tree definitely talks on all of that. So yeah, that was a small suggestion from my end for everyone.
Yeah, I think practice counts with everything. Like whatever you're doing, irrespective of what, like whatever it can be anything. And if you're practicing on it, you can do wonders there.
Yeah.
Okay. No questions. Like we'll just wait for 5 more minutes. If you have any questions, anyway, I think this time we are on time. It's not getting extended. Yeah. So I have shared all the links. Guys, I am sharing our meetup group link as well. You can be a part of it. We have created meetup groups for three locations. One is not three, like yeah, three locations. One is Bangalore, Delhi, and Pune. So you can be a part of all three locations. So once I think we're done with COVID situation and everything, we'll just see how we can go ahead with this. Like maybe we'll plan something or kind of meetups and all those kind of groups. So please be a part of it. Like it's just for future references would be helpful. Um, Okay, for future session, please include topics of an array. Yeah, for sure. Rishul, I think you are planning on that, right? Achintya
Yeah.
suggested.
So yeah, definitely. So NRE implementation, like the best is Try, I would say. So Try is one of the very important data structure, and it's definitely as in good companies like Amazon, Microsoft, or Google. So yeah, NRE implementation definitely we are planning to have it on our next session. So this was the first session on this series of data structure. Yeah.
And guys, as we have, I think 2-3 more minutes, I just have few questions here from you guys, like kind of a poll, or you can say anything. I want to understand, like the timing which we are following. Is it okay for you guys, or you want us to do it on some other day, maybe weekdays or some particular time? If you have any, please put it in the chat section itself. I'll just have a look. Like if you can tell me like what is the particular time is best for you guys. It's weekdays or weekend, it's evening, morning, afternoon, night. What is the best thing for you, right? So I can just have a look at it, and whichever like it's voted the most, I can go ahead with that. I'll probably run I would say poll kind of a thing on LinkedIn, on Recro's LinkedIn page. So please follow us there so that you also can vote there. Can we have this? Yeah, so I will be sharing the recording. So what we are doing now is we are putting the recording on YouTube channel. On our YouTube channel, I'll share the link. I'll share it once again. You can subscribe there. We usually upload all the session. Like if the session is happening on Saturday or Sunday, it will be getting uploaded the next week, Thursday. Thursday night, usually 7 o'clock, we are uploading the session. If not Thursday night, it will be Friday morning. Okay, and in that itself, in the description box, we will be adding the code link, the presentation link, everything. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'll just share the link once again. Please do that. That's gonna be really helpful for you guys. So you might not get a mail right now. Maybe after one or two sessions, we will start the mail again. Right now, we have stopped doing that, but yeah, we for sure will start that again. But meanwhile, you can just subscribe to our channel, and everything will be there. Otherwise, just subscribe to this talk page as well. Even there, you will find everything, all the previous talk recording, and even this session also will be going there. I hope it was helpful. We can have good ideas. Okay. Fine, I'll just read it out. Everything. Please fill out the feedback form. That's gonna be really helpful. And we really take your feedbacks really seriously. So don't think it's gonna be waste. If you're giving the feedback, it will be taken care. Okay, I think there is one question from Kishore Rishu.
Okay, let me have a look into it. Okay, so yeah, Kishore, we can use LeetCode in order to solve DS problem using JavaScript. So LeetCode is very nice platform. You can have multiple other language over here, there. So yeah, I'll post a link to it, LeetCode.com. Yeah, LeetCode.com, that is.
Cool then. I think we're done. You guys are not asking questions. Maybe you have understood a lot, or maybe nothing. I'm not sure. I hope you understood better. We will be sharing the links soon. Maybe you can just join the meetup group, or I think you are already a part of the WhatsApp community. I'll just try to share it there, right, Rishu? Even Rishu can put it there. And thank you so much, Rishu. It was really good session. Like even I was trying to understand, okay, how trees work. I
That's
was
great.
like, okay, I'm in my college days there. I've learned all these things.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Thank
yeah,
you so
thanks
much.
everyone for joining.
And thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in, for being a part of Recro's community. It's really exciting, like seeing all of you joining in, learning a lot. And I hope you enjoyed the session. I hope you attend a future session. The future session also is going to be on front end, and we'll share the details soon. Yeah, thank you so much, guys. Bye bye. Enjoy your Saturday. You can be in the social lawn, you can talk to each other. Even I will be joining there. So if you have any doubt, just grab a seat and I'll just try to join you guys. Thank you. Bye bye. Enjoy.
Bye everyone.